Happy Sunday and a very warm welcome to you wherever you're watching us from. You are right on time for another soulful edition of the show. Are you confused about the role of fundis, architects, NEMA, NCA, the long list of people you need to involve in your construction? Today, we talk to a young man who has written a handbook. A little later on, are you the type of person who thinks out of the box when it comes to furnishing your home? Today, we feature artisans who are creating furniture and decorative stuff out of rustic material. These guys are so unique. You love what they do. You have to have a look at this one. It's in my favorite part of the show, Property Essentials. Stay on for that. But first, let's have a look at our property of the week, the Rivers Edge townhouses located along Limuru Road. These ones are super unique. If you love for high roofs and ceilings, you will love them. Just take a look. A house is made of brick and mortar basically, but only love can make it a home. A luxurious home with a forest view is set on a 5-acre enchanting piece of land, and undulating slopes is a breathtaking development surrounded by serene panoramic views of a 5-bedroom villa. A stupendous Rivers Edge gated community has a great view of the forest situated along the Limuru Road, minutes away from the famous village market. These beautiful villas have an open-plan sunken living area with a fireplace and a balcony with large windows that lights up the house and enables good circulation of air from the forest. The open-plan living room is separate from the dining area and family TV room with a balcony. This villa has multiple balconies with green leafy views and very well maintained common areas. The bedrooms are all en suite with a roomy master bedroom which has a his and hers high quality MDF wardrobes, expansive balcony, attic ceiling, bathtub and shower cubicle and full-sized mirrors. Other bedrooms are spacious, featuring attic ceilings and with lots of natural light from the large windows. There is a domestic servant quarter, a clock room with quality finishes on the sink, cabinets and toilet set. Security is provided by a 24/7 manned gate patrolled compound, high boundary wall, electric fence and CCTV cameras to ensure that most of your security needs are met. There is constant supply of water from the borehole and solar water heating systems. And for the barbecue lovers, well, these villas come with a barbecue area with paved floors suitable for entertaining a large number of guests. This house can be yours for only 35.5 million. Rustic furniture is furniture employing sticks, twigs or logs for a natural look, mostly found in gardens, whether in a residential or commercial property. They should always be neat and welcoming. Well-mowed front or backyards with lots of flowers and plants will definitely increase the appeal of your garden, But the icing on the cake comes from the inclusion of garden furniture, especially when that furniture is rustic and unique. Vintage is timeless, and a homeowner looking to add some appeal to every aspect of their garden or home will never go wrong with this kind of furniture. The use of rustic furniture will always make that statement in your home, as they blend well with nature compared to the usual modern sets with cushions or glass tables. Whether it's a table, chair, or a bench, this rustic effect gives the garden or a home a theme which one can use to create balance.
Hizi ni mbao za kawaida, lakini huwa tunazifanya kwa kukaa kama mzee hivi, kulingana na vile design ya siku hizi watu wanapenda hiyo design za rustic, mbao mzee.
Typical items of rustic furniture include chairs, love seats and tables, desks, smoking stands, clocks, chest of drawers, rockers, cot racks, mirror frames, beds, or lamps. Harsh weather conditions need not worry you, as there are certain wood treatments that can make the furniture strong and durable, since most of the time they are left outside at the mercy of the elements. They need not be rugged and old, but the right wood treatment can make them more attractive. Rustic furniture not only gives a rugged feel but also complements the area in which it is placed by blending well with the natural environment, and also gives your home that timeless and vintage look. Although some of the furniture needs to be cut and carved into the desired shapes, there are those that have been used in their natural forms and only enhanced by polishing. Rustic furniture needs not to be carved to make the final product. It is simply used as found, and the end result is beautiful and natural. However, making rustic furniture that is good, sturdy and reliable is not an easy task, and it requires one to be innovative. The wood also needs to be treated and maintained on a regular basis, because the pieces may sometimes be exposed to pests and harsh weather conditions that may lead to rotting or mildew. Most furniture is made from simple reclaimed materials like recycled wood or logs that are readily available locally.
Uzuri haikuliwi na wadudu, ni mti yenye iko treated well kwa kutoka tu zamani, iko haikaribishwi na mdudu karibu. Cypress hata jacaranda.
Various designs on recycling have made a comeback, especially for those looking for cheap but unique furniture items.
Tunanunuanga mbao ikiwa mti tu mzima, and then kutoka hapo tunaipasua, tunaileta workshop, tunaifanyia kazi up to time italeta ile product yenye ulikuwa unataka. Kama ni dining, unaiweka kwa vile dining inakaa. Kama ni coffee table, unaikata kwa design ile ya coffee table unataka.
So next time you chop down a tree in your compound, see what else you can do with the wood rather than using it for firewood. Thank you so much for staying with us. Wherever your search for home is, I do hope it's fruitful. Be sure to check out River's Edge on Limuru Road. You will love them. After this short break, our discussion on the ABCs of architecture, building, construction in Kenya. Don't go away. Thanks for joining us in our discussion today. Have you seen those design plans that they sell on the streets of Nairobi? Now, if you have ever considered buying one and putting that into action, you need to listen to this conversation today. We are talking to a guy who has come up with a workbook with the do's and don'ts when you are about to construct, or if you're thinking of getting into construction anytime soon. He's called Brian Mongela. Hi.
Hi.
Karibu.
Thank you so much.
You're a daring soul.
Yes. Well, in this industry, if you want to make it, you sort of have to come out strong.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're an architect by profession.
Yes,
right?
I'm an architect.
How long have you been in practice?
I've been in practice for over 5 years. That is after registration. And prior to that, I've been practicing since I was in campus. Of course, working with other architects. So while doing that, I got to see the challenges that clients were going through in the implementation of their projects. So many years down the line, I figured it would be prudent that I coach my clients on what they should expect from me and what I should expect from them.
Is that why you came up with the workbook?
Yes. So there are plenty of documentation in regards to construction in Kenya, from building contracts to the building code to so many other things that the government has come up with together with our associations like the Architectural Association of Kenya, the Board of Registration of Architects and Quantity Surveyors. That's for architects only. There's also other boards with the surveyors, contractors, the NCA, NEMA. All these people have come up with a document or two to help the public and the consultants follow a certain route in the implementation of their projects.
Okay.
What happens is that once this information is in the public, very few people ever get to either download or go to their offices and purchase or rather pick the flyers.
Yeah.
So what we've done is condense all that into this workbook.
Who would benefit from this?
This workbook is geared towards the client, the person who wants to build a house, the person who wants to hire a consultant but doesn't know at where, what job this consultant is coming to do for us, a person who wishes to go and buy a house and doesn't know what are the things to look out for to ensure that the building has been done well.
Do people really value what you do? Or where is the issue? Is it lack of knowledge or a lack of understanding, or the fact that probably you're very few in numbers, or you're not easy to access, or maybe you're expensive?
Well, all those factors actually come into play. One, the biggest, which is education. Clients do not know our value. Quite often, clients interact with the fundis. They are the most easy to access. So when a fundi says, I've done this, I've built this, there, angalia hii,
they can actually show.
They can actually show physical work that they have done. And the client finds it easier to trust this gentleman as compared to a consultant who only draws lines, because that's what they say we do.
Isn't that what you do?
It's 6 years of learning how to draw a line, where to place that line, how many lines mean a certain thing.
Okay.
And house is not just a house. The placement of a house relates to so many things. Okay. It relates to factors like simply the sun path, the sun direction, the wind direction, access, how you get into your house, and the feeling you want to get when you walk into your house is factored in the design process. Okay. So when a fundi says, I've built that there, he's probably done a 2-month course, or at best 2 years of apprenticeship and Yamjengo, You ask him something about the sun and wind direction, no idea.
Is that why you'd go into a neighborhood and you look at one block of apartments and it looks nice?
Yes.
Then you turn over to the next one and man, it's quite these sights.
Yes.
And you wonder what went wrong?
Exactly. So probably the one with the uglier house was built by the afundi who said I built that one. The architect's duty is to design and to supervise construction to make sure that things are done as per the design. The engineer's duties are to make sure that the architect's designs stand, the electrical work functions, the plumbing, drains, and water gets into the building as it is supposed to be. Architects and engineers and interior designers, quantity surveyors, the whole team is integral to the design
A land of
process.
another one, clerk of works.
The clerk of works, yes. Now the clerk of works manages day-to-day operations of the site on behalf of the client.
What are you bringing to the table? Because now this is your work. This is hours and hours of research and, you know, just engaging with people, clients, and, you know, your fellow consultants and stuff like that. What are you offering?
The workbook and the training that has come up due to the same workbook sort of tries to restore order, rather the hierarchy in a construction project. So in a construction project, of all the consultants, the architect takes lead and the other team works with him to ensure delivery of the project. When you walk into an estate or an area and see an ugly house and a beautiful house, each of the houses being 20 units of the same square meter, everything, you'll realize that the ugly house will not return investment as fast as the beautiful house.
Yes.
Both of them may have cost 50 million shillings to develop. The guy, ugly house, the owner, may have been like, you know what, I don't need these guys. I've seen this, I can download a drawing from Pinterest or from, you know, the ones you buy on the street.
The internet came to save our lives.
Yes, so you get those drawings, give it to a foreman to implement, and they get stuck. In the process of getting stuck, they become creative and start, you know, solving problems on the go. Weka hii, songeza hii, you know. A client comes to the site, feels that this room is smaller than I had, you know, I feel this room is small, and he goes like, you know, songeza this wall, give me 2 more meters.
Yes.
And what the client doesn't realize is that 2 meters is not just for that place only. He has to start from the foundation, come to that floor, ceiling, all the way first floor and to the roof. The cost increment is not just that 1 or 2 meters, it goes all the way from the ground all the way up. That is the single most biggest factors that increase the cost of construction. Changes on site. Maybe songeza hapa, maybe add an extra meter high, don't use this material, lack of planning. From my experience, I've seen that the factors that increase the cost of construction, one is poor planning and management.
Give me an example, a real life example. Give me an instance where you saw something going horribly wrong because someone didn't take advice from consultants.
We had a development, a really upmarket development in Westlands, and we were refurbishing an existing building. So the client came and wanted to, you know, get a couple more extra floors on the building. We were brought in as the lead consultants. We brought in the engineers, the auditors, and we realized we can add a couple of floors on top of the existing building. Once he got that, we told him now we need the other engineers to come in and help make this thing a success. So he came, he's like, no, I have a fundi who can do what you're asking. I tell him, no, we have to get a proper engineer to value this work, do designs and implement based on, you know, best practices. He declined. I wrote a letter to him, copied to the city council, also copied to our association, and I told him, I dissociate myself from this project, and if we don't follow these laid out procedures, I am not going to be involved with a potential mess. So eventually, of course, I didn't get paid, but he got the proper engineers in the mix, and right now the building stands proud. It's a very beautiful building, and right now is when he sees the value of taking advice. We, architects, consultants, we have insurance. We take insurance so that if I make a mistake on site, I'm able to pay for my mistakes. A contractor takes insurance as well. If he makes a mistake, he's able to pay for his mistake. But if a client doesn't engage a consultant who now recommends or approves a contractor, when a mistake happens on site, who pays? the client. One thing that I'd like to remind clients also is that once you've handed over the project to the contractor, it is not yours.
Oh.
Contractually, you don't own that site anymore.
Okay.
When you go to site, you're actually supposed to call in advance and tell them, Nakuja, can I please come and see
Where
what is
is that
going on
written? My money, my mjengo?
Yes, it's part of the contract law, because
Okay.
what happens is that anything that happens on that site, be it an injury, be it a cable that, KPLC power line that has fallen or fire, it is not the client's responsibility. It is the contractor's responsibility. So there's a project timeline. You've taken the project on January 1st, you're supposed to deliver by December 31st. Within that time, the client holds no right to that site. He probably is supposed to show up on 31st to see a complete building and receive his keys.
Wow.
Once he moves in, he gets an extra 6 months, which is called the defects liability period, which he's supposed to see, are there any cracks in the building? Is any paint that is peeling off? The contractor still does all repairs for an extra 6 months after he has left the site.
Okay.
But the client has already taken back liability of the project.
All right.
Yes.
Well done, good job. And I don't know, is there any form of support from our dear government, or how do you go about, just trying to get this information out there?
What our associations and regulators can help us is by, supporting us, talking to their clients, to come for these trainings. Our other consultants, other engineers, architects, to also, take this challenge, educate your client before you start the job.
Yeah.
We'll have this book on offer for a nice tidy price.
Okay.
Come get this book, use it to take your clients through. They will thank you in smiles and in shillings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And we all need some form of, kutoa wax, kiasi, even when you've been there, our fathers and all, they might consider you very young in the industry. So, well, who are you to tell us all these things? But thanks. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Kazi njema.
All right.
Yeah. And that's all the time we had for you on today's edition of the show. Remember, if you'd like to be featured in any segment of this show, kindly talk to us at Jamila Mbugwa and at NTV Property Show across all social media networks. Before we go, an architect's most useful tools are an eraser at the drafting board and a wrecking bar at the site. This is by Frank Leod Wright. You've figured that one out. I'm out of here on behalf of my crew and everyone else from the Property Show. Asante sana.